Good pitching matchup tonight from Milwaukee is in fact a rematch of game 1 of the season at Petco Park. Clayton Richard matched up against Chase Anderson. Richard 7-10, getting ready for his 24th start. Chase Anderson 7-7 with a nifty 3.65 ERA. It's game 1 of a 3-game series between the Padres and the Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres Baseball. Well, tonight the Padres take on a Brewers team that is a game and a half back of the Chicago Cubs heading into this 3-game series. They're very good, and one of the guys they picked up from the Miami Marlins this last offseason has paid instant dividends this season in Christian Yelich.
Don, I know you've always liked this kid, Christian Yelich, when he was with the Marlins, up-and-coming superstar. He was an all-star this year for the Milwaukee Brewers. He does so many things well. He can play left field, center field, right field, go over the whole field defensively, but the last 26 games, we're going to focus on the 49 hits. This guy likes to go the other way. He's got pop in his bat as well. The one thing about Yelich, though, we're going to have to keep an eye on tonight versus left-handed hitters. He's hitting 368. Clayton Richard's going to have his hands full with Kane, well above 350, Yelich above 368 with the batting average and the 24 RBI. So he's got to keep those two guys off. This left-hander's got it right out of the get-go. These first two guys hitting left-handers well.
On the other side, Austin Hedges has been tremendous for the Padres, certainly since coming off the DL, and over the last 9 games, he's been spectacular.
He looks really quiet at the plate. He looks very comfortable at the plate. Not a lot of pressure from the Padres catcher. It starts with his base, his posture, and when you feel comfortable, not a lot of movement, your head doesn't move. He's thinking about the big part of the field, but yet, if he's out in front of a pitch, yeah, he'll pull it. So one thing is for sure, he's not trying to lift the ball. One thing Matt Stare says that if he's trying to level swing, stay through the baseball, you know what? With his type of swing, the home runs will come. It was evident in Chicago, thinking left and right center field, but he'll be early a little bit, and there you see the home runs like hitting Chicago.
Now tonight, the first of 3 between the Padres and the Milwaukee Brewers from Miller Park. Coming up, the Padres will try to spoil the NL Central party. Already took 2 from the Chicago Cubs. Now it's on to the Milwaukee Brewers next from Miller Park on Fox Sports San Diego. It's Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the pet company. by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. And by Pacific Surfliner. Ride the Surfliner to your next Padres game. Tailgating outside Miller Park as the fans make their way in for Game 1 of the series. Before we get it started, let's send it down to field level and Bob Scanlon.
Thank you, Don. For the second series in a row, the Padres are playing one of the best teams in the National League. They opened up this road trip against the Cubs with a National League best .580 winning percentage, and they followed it up now with the Brewers, who are at .565. So is there something to be gained, something to be learned by playing some of the best teams in the league? Well, some of the Padres sure do think so.
I think it's just a good test, you know. It's exciting to play games that, you know, teams are at the top of their game, and it's a good test for our ball club, and, you know, we like our chances.
We got to play our game. We got to learn to play against good teams and play good baseball consistently, not just one day here, one day there, but every single day. And that's what these good teams do. They bring it every single day, and they force you to play the game the right way and play clean baseball.
Some of these veteran players acknowledge, look, as youngsters, they try to do too much sometimes playing against some of the better teams. They have to learn how to pace themselves. But the other thing, when you're playing the best, they're not going to make mistakes. They're not going to give you games. You have to create those opportunities yourselves and play the best baseball and most consistent baseball you possibly can. Well, the Padres will try to take down the Brewers, beat the Brew Crew. Clayton Richard going for the Friars against Chase Anderson for the Brewers. Padres, Brew Crew, first pitch coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Miller Park in Milwaukee. They're always tailgating outside here at Miller Park, getting ready for the first of 3 on a beautiful night tonight in Milwaukee. Roof is open, and it's time now for our Saquon Pick the Stick. Fans, you decide who you're with by tweeting hashtag I'm with. Last name of the broadcaster you think has the best pick. If you're right, you can win a free lunch buffet for 2 at Saquon Casino. Must be 18 and older to win. And there are picks tonight. Things not going well for Team Orsillo right now.
Plenty of time left, I think, Donnie. You never know. Hang in there.
Time now for our weather report, brought to you by your always sunny Honda dealers of San Diego County. 70 degrees, northeast breeze at 5 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy, the forecast for the rest of the night. Some sunshine up there and some blue sky as we get it started. And again, the roof open here at Miller Park. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, and Bob Scanlon with you. First of 3 two-night games and a day game here against a very good Milwaukee Brewers team. And Andy Green coming in here. We take a look at his lineup, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. And Margot leading it off and in center field with Eric Hosmer at first base. Hunter Renfroe in left with Christian Villanueva at third. Austin Hedges does the catching. Freddie Galvis at short. Franmil Reyes in right. Corey Spangenberg at second base. And Clayton Richard, the pitcher, bats out of the 9th spot for the Padres. Chase Anderson on the hill tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, this pitcher for the Brewers has given up 21 home runs. He leads the team in that category. That's 120 innings plus. 2-seam, 4-seam, changeup. He's a fly ball pitcher. He'll mix in a cutter as well, but he's on a roll. His last 7, an ERA around 2.5. So he's been pitching very well in that rotation for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, Margot standing in on the right side. Getting it started tonight in Milwaukee. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball 1. Manuel coming in, hitting at .253 on the year. 4 homers and 31 runs batted in. Meanwhile, Chase Anderson, 500 record individually, coming in at 7-7 with a 3.65 ERA. 23rd start of the year for the right-hander. And again, this is a rematch of the opening day starters. With Clayton Richard starting at Petco Park against Chase Anderson. Go, pretty good rip there.
Now, does opening day to you seem just like last week or a long time ago?
Forever ago, to be honest with you.
Yes, it does.
I did not even remember that they matched up against each other on opening day until I saw it in the notes. Did you?
I have to admit, I'm right there with you.
Margot, Hosmer, and Renfroe here in the first inning. Pretty good series against the Cubs, I thought. I mean, really,
they could have swept them.
They could have swept them. That's strike 3. Margot strikes out.
Let's check out the defense for the Brewers tonight, brought to you by San Diego Cadillac Dealers. Behind Chase Anderson in the outfield, left to right, will be Ryan Braun, Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich in right. In the infield, third to first, Moustakas, Perez, Scope, Aguilar. Behind the plate, putting down the signs, Manny Pena. 10 outfield assists for Lorenzo Cain. He's got an arm. Keep that in the back of your craw.
Another one of those key additions for the Brewers and a former teammate of this guy, Eric Hosmer. That's second of the Padres order. 110th game of the year for him. Padres in their 115th as a team. Well, but back to the Cubs series, taking 2 games in that environment and doing it against that team, pretty good.
2 one-run games, Friday and Saturday, identical score, 5-4. You're absolutely right.
This one blew back is short. Back is Perez to reel it in for out number 2. So 2 down here in the first inning. Hernan Perez back there in short left field, and it'll bring up Hunter Renfroe. 238, 9 homers, 31 runs driven in for Renfroe.
You know, one thing I think we should look at tonight, Don, is defensively for the Brewers. It's really not their best defense out there with Moustakas, Perez, Scope, and Aguilar. You've got Shaw on the bench, left-hander. He's struggling against lefties, hitting .209, and then Arcia is pretty darn good at shortstop. So that might be one thing to look at tonight, the infield defense for the Brewers.
Jonathan Scope, one of the new additions for them. There's Mike Moustakas, former Hosmer teammate as well. And a situation really where Scope off to a very slow start with his new team, of course, coming over from the Orioles, where he had 17 home runs with Baltimore. And things have really gone very slowly here. He's just 2 for his first 21 with 0 extra base hits, 10 strikeouts in his first 5 games with the Brewers. And it may be just a case of him coming over here and feeling so much pressure to deliver. Renfroe doesn't go, according to Alan Porter, first base umpire.
You know, I think that varies from player to player.
Sure.
And I think it's very legitimate to where a guy, even if you're a veteran, here's a team now that's in the race with the Orioles. What are they, like 75 games out of first place?
A bunch, yeah.
So so you come to a team and you try to maybe press a little bit because you want to make an impact, you want to be that guy. And I'm a firm believer that it can play between the ears, even if you're a rookie or if you're a veteran like Jonathan Scope.
Watch him over a number of years with the Orioles. He's a good player.
Very good player. Same type of ball yards too. Orioles, right? More flies there, more than here probably, but it still flies here.
Swing and a miss, and Renfroe strikes out. A good first for Chase Anderson. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres. Brewers are coming up. Let's check out Craig Counsell's starting 9. Lorenzo Kane at the top of the order and in center field. Christian Yelich in right field with Jesus Aguilar at first base. Jonathan Scope at second with Ryan Braun in left. Mike Moustakas is at third base. Hernan Perez at short. Manny Pena does the catching, batting 8th. And Chase Anderson out of the 9 spot for the Brew Crew as they come to bat against Clayton Richard.
His scouting report is brought to you by GMC. 34-year-old making his 24th start. A lot of traffic lately for Clayton Richard. A lot of base traffic, a lot of earned runs, and we'll get into that a little bit, but he needs quick outs. When he's on his game, the Brewers are swinging early. The infielders will be busy. A lot of ground balls. He does have 1 pickoff this year, the left-hander.
Kane will take ball 1. 293 average coming in. 8 homers, 30 runs batted in. This one up the middle, find its way into center field, not hit hard, but well placed.
Take a look at the Padres defense behind the left-hander tonight. With that leadoff single, Lorenzo Kane pads his average against left-handers. He's going 345 prior to that hit. Franmil Reyes will be in right field. 1 error in 212 plus innings. In right field, Manuel Margot in center, Hunter Renfroe in left. On the infield, third to first, Villanueva, Galvis, Spansberg, and Hosmer. Behind the plate, Austin Hedges catching Clayton Richard.
So a good start here to the bottom of the first inning for the Brewers with Kane at first. And here is Christian Yelich. All of a sudden in the conversation for MVP as well. Batting .438 with 24 runs scored over the last 26 games. Raised his batting average from .282 to a National League leading .326. Bounding ball to second. No play at second for Spansberg, so he spins and fires to get Yelich. Kane will take second with 1 down. Let's take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, the first one is with Anderson on the mound, chase Anderson early. See what I did there with his full name, but yet chase him early. Hopefully it's going to be tough though. 2-1, last 8 starts, 2.08 ERA. And a repeat Richard in opener. Clayton Richard did a fine job in that opening day at San Diego. 1 earned run over 7 innings of work. And he needs to do what he just did. We just saw right there. Keep the ball on the ground.
1 out, runner at second. Jesus Aguilar stands in. Aguilar deep in the box on the right side. Bluff, no throw. Cheating in from second with Spangenberg. Well, the Brewers' best offensive inning this season has been the first inning. 66 runs scored in the first inning for the Brew Crew. They get off to a good start most nights. Brewers a game and a half back of the Cubs to begin the day in the NL Central.
Donnie, you've got Kane leading off. You've got Yelich batting second. On base percentages respectively 389, 387. That's pretty darn good. That puts a lot of pressure on the opposing pitcher.
Yeah, they're getting on.
And then you got this kid right here who was hitting the ball out everywhere.
26 home runs on the year. 77 runs batted in. Right in the middle of this Brewers order. This is the first time the Brewers and Padres have met since Milwaukee swept the season opening 3-game series in San Diego. Bounces in, almost hit him. Brewers have won 9 of their last 14 games. Finished up their 6-game homestand here against the Padres. They took 2 out of 3 from the Colorado Rockies, who are just here.
Yep. You know, this might be an old pitch around with first base being open. You got 1 out. You got Scope, who you mentioned, Don. He was struggling as a Brewer on deck.
That's a strike. 3-1. Yeah, there's one guy in this order you're not going to let beat you. It's probably this guy right here.
Yeah.
As far as the long ball goes.
Absolutely. Might see a breaking ball here, maybe a changeup, fastball out of the zone.
Swing and a miss, chasing that.
Getting froggy on that little cut fastball.
Only registered at 79 miles an hour.
Maybe a slider, maybe, or a curveball that kind of got away from him. had very short break. That's when I first saw it. Maybe looked like a cutter, but then you're right, 79. Must be an off-speed pitch, like a curveball.
Grounder foul down the third baseline, and we'll do it again. Well, the Brewers beat the Padres opening day 2-1. Chase Anderson, Clayton Richard met. Neither pitcher factored in the decision. Anderson threw 6 scoreless innings, allowing just 1 hit. Richard allowed only 1 run in 7 innings of work on opening day. A drive to deep left field. Redco going back, looking up, and that ball's gone. 27th home run of the year for Aguilar, and a 2-0 Brewers lead. Here's Bernie Brewer.
Well, this Milwaukee Brewer team, they're ranked 2nd in the National League in home run category, and one of the reasons this kid right here, boy, short stride, short quick stroke to that baseball and pounds it a long way, 3/4 of the way up in left center field. Really surprised that he even gave him something good to hit there. With Jonathan Scope coming up, who's been struggling at the plate.
So 2-0 Milwaukee, and here is Scope. Takes strike 1. As I mentioned earlier, 2 for 21 with his new team. 0 extra base hits. Overall, the combined numbers, 17 home runs with the Orioles. And 40 runs batted in as an Oriole. Chop to short, backing up is Galvis. The off-balance toss in time. 2 down here in the first inning.
Or Freddie thought, do I kind of charge this one? Big hop, short hop? No, I think I'll play it back. But if you play it back, what did Freddie do? You got to be quick on the catch and release. If he's coming in, he's got his momentum. He can catch it on the short hop. But he bet on that nice hop. Got to be short on the back end.
Always seems when you back up on balls like that, bad things can happen.
Yeah.
Freddie Galvis, pretty good infielder. He knows what he's doing.
Really good.
So 2 down here in the first, and it brings up Ryan Braun. Takes strike 1. Braun batting 5th in the order, and he's now in left field. He's at 46, 12 homers, 42 runs batted in. Opposite field, hit pretty well. Reyes not going to get it. One hops the wall, and over the head of Reyes on the carom. To second base with a 2-out double goes Ryan Braun.
Well, Ryan Braun coming into this game kind of struggling against left-handers, only a .217 clip. It's a case of Clayton Richard, though, catching too much of the plate.
$17 doubles now in the year for Braun. At second base with 2 away. Mike Moustakas coming up. Almost got away. Now the former Kansas City Royal coming over here. There's Lorenzo Cain, his former teammate. Combined numbers 107 games this year, 21 home runs, 65 RBIs so far for Moustakas.
I think bringing a little bit of that, hopefully for the Brewers, that World Series magic for the Royals back in 2015. A game plus behind the Cubs in the division, so trying to maybe work it in that clubhouse and do some damage at the plate to try to help the Brewers.
Drives this towards right center field. Margot going back at the wall. Ball's gone. Another 2-run home run. Brewers take a 4-0 lead. Bernie Brewer again down the slide.
Wow. 89 right down the middle. Clayton Richard out of the get-go, not good with the release point and hitting his spots. These Brewers are padding that home run total they've got in the National League, ranked second in that category.
Hernan Perez will take ball one. I told you, Brewers coming in offensively outstanding in the first inning. Their best inning, and they're getting it done here tonight. 4 runs in the first, still batting with 2 down, and Hernan Perez getting his first look here at Clayton Richard. Falls behind 3-0. Last start against the Giants, 2 runs in 5 innings, got a no decision. So far out of the gate, charged with 4 here in the first inning.
Okay, 89 on the sinker right there. Keep an eye on that velocity.
Think it's down?
It looks maybe down a little bit. That one, 88. And you know, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to say anything regarding what I think might be wrong. But as I see right now, it's just Clayton Richard is really off with his location. He's not hitting his spots.
To left, this will stay in the yard. Renfroe is there, and he makes the catch. It ends the inning. Big inning for the Brewers. 2 2-run home runs at 4-0 Milwaukee.
First inning for Chase Anderson. Why? Because he put up a 0. That has not been the norm for him so far this season. A 6.95 earned run average in the first inning. It's gotten to the point where he actually had to make an adjustment in his pregame routine. He would end it early, come to the bench, sit around for 5 or 10 minutes to simulate like he was on the road. Obviously it worked out. He had a scoreless first, but the other thing to take out of that first inning was the fastball command. That has also been an issue for him this season. Mark, you mentioned the 21 home runs. 14 of those have been on the fastball, but he had good fastball command in the first inning. We'll see if the Padres can get something going, guys.
Yeah, I saw a little giddy up on that fastball, too, as well, with the good placement. That's a good combo there, Scan. Thank you very much.
It's amazing different tactics guys will take trying to figure out how to have better first innings, whether they warm up longer, shorter. I mean, they try everything to try to figure it out.
I've heard crazy stories about guys throwing an inning in the bullpen.
The guys stand in.
Right, simulating a game.
Yep.
I've heard of guys throwing fewer pitches. I'm sure Scan has been around the block and heard some crazy stories. Don't mean to put him on the spot, but there are stories out there to try to get guys to break that.
Rounded to third. Moustakas' throw is good, and there's one down in the inning. here in Milwaukee for game one of a 3-game series in mud. A very tough first inning for Clayton Richard.
Yeah, he's just not hitting his spots. It looks like the velocity is down a couple ticks. And believe me, if a guy throws 91 and he's down to 88, 89, that might not seem like a lot, but you know what? Down that little bit, just a little bit, could make a big difference. And when you don't hit your spots against a club like the Milwaukee Brewers, this has been a fun team to watch. And with the acquisitions they made during the All-Star or before the trade deadline, they're in this thing, man. They're just a game and a half behind the Cubs trying to make it work.
They were good and they got better.
They most definitely did.
Austin Hedges batting for the first time tonight. One down here in the second. Hedges has been great at the plate. Out ahead of this, sends it foul a long way. You're talking about the activity for the Brewers around the deadline and even after the deadline. They got Scope coming over from the O's, Mike Moustakas from the Royals, and Joakim Soria comes over. 45 games at 2.30 ERA.
Talked about Scope, very good player at second base, but struggling right now. Moustakas brings that winning attitude from Kansas City. And then Soria, he's got closer material.
Yep.
I mean, he can close.
They're pretty trying to bolster their bullpen. We're talking about guys who have experience, good veterans. Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Hedges battling. Don't forget they also, as part of the waiver wire deal, got Jordan Lyles from the San Diego Padres. Going to be in the pen for them.
We saw what he could do. Had a couple good starts out of the rotation for San Diego, but doing very well as a reliever.
Popped up left side. Hernan Perez, shortstop, stride on the outfield grass. 2 down. So far so good here for Chase Anderson. Bring up Freddie Galvis.
Man, it does wonders for a guy's psyche when you are traded at the deadline and you gained 14 or 15 games in the standings.
I don't know how many he gained, Jonathan Scope. I mean, they were.
It was close.
Like 40 games out of first, right?
Yeah.
The Orioles are 44.5 games back in the AL East, and he joins the Milwaukee Brewers, who are a game and a half back of the Cubs. That's improving your record a little bit. A little bit.
A little bit.
This one is popped up foul off to the left, out of play.
And let's face it, there's a different energy, I would say, for Jonathan Scope, for Jordan Lyles.
He's been here all of 2 days and he's actually in our hotel.
Yeah.
So he still feels like he's on the road. Generally, that's what players do when they get traded, especially waiver wire this late.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a place where you're going to be there for the next 6 weeks before the postseason starts. You just stay in the hotel. So it's like you're always on the road, though. That's got to be tough.
It is tough. Been there, done that. You know, though, it's the business you choose, right? Have to adjust.
Fly ball, center field, left center. Lorenzo Cain calling and catching out number 3. 4-0 Brewers after an inning and a half.
Austin Hedges and throwing behind the runners and going to third base on this one. The front door was closed, so he's got to step with his feet behind the hitter. Accurate throw. Baez is erased. Now at second base, coming up throwing with the daylight play after the pitch.
One hopper eats up Spangenberg at second, kicks out to shallow center. Manny Pena on at first. Hot shot. Tried to play the hop, and the hop played him.
One of those in-betweeners where a second baseman, let's see if he gets in a good position here. If the square's up against it, gets in front of it and takes it off the heel of the glove, maybe the right hand. Looks like a catchable ball right there, but kind of ate him up a little bit. Those are the kind that Clayton Richard needs to get those quick outs.
Pena at first base, and Chase Anderson, 0.95 hitter in 5 major league seasons. Pulls it back and chops one to third, to second for one. Off balance throw is going to pull Hosmer off the bag. They do get Pena at second base, 5-4 on the force out, as Anderson will reach on the fielder's choice at first. Villanueva was coming in expecting the bunt, but Anderson pulled it back, swung away.
That ball's a little bit more over his head. It goes over Villanueva's head. Corey Spangenberg on the run to second base. He had to hesitate a little bit because he was playing his position. He had to get to the bag. A lot going on there around the second base bag. On the run for Corey.
1 out, 1 on, and the top of the order coming up. This Milwaukee top three combined 189 runs scored, with the first inning included. 376 of Milwaukee's total runs scored. As Lorenzo Cain bats here, 389, highest on base percentage, 5th in that category, the National League. You got Cain scoring 56 runs, Yelich 78 runs. Leads Milwaukee in that category, and then Aguilar with 55 runs.
It's a nice trifecta, 1 through 3, huh?
Pretty impressive. This one bounces in, blocked by Hedges.
Then you got Cain with the 19 stolen bases. You've got Yelich with 14 stolen bases. Collectively, the Brewers #1 in the National League in that category.
Opposite field, and a fair ball headed to the right field corner. Anderson headed for third, and he'll be stopped there on the double by Lorenzo Cain. Second and third with 1 out here in the second inning. Second hit of the night for Cain.
Cain going up the middle, his first at bat. This time, right on that fastball to take it the opposite way. Lets the ball travel just a little bit, maybe a little late. And Ed Cedar, the third base coach, holding him up with 1 out. And why not? You got Christian Yelich and then Aguilar coming up. No use of trying to send that guy, especially when you're up 4-0.
Infield coming in here right now about halfway. Left side, Villanueva at the lip of the grass, and a grounder to first. Hosmer's coming home. The throw is good, and the tag is applied for the out. Nicely done, able to get Anderson at the plate. 3-2 on the throw out at the plate. So Yelich does not get the job done.
Kind of hesitated a little bit at third base. Anderson, probably not the best base runner, the pitcher. Gives Hosmer a little bit extra time, not being a force plate, to get that ball to Austin Hedges so he can tag him out.
Zeus Aguilar coming up, not out of the woods yet. 2 down now in the inning. They have ruled that play finally at second base. They've given a hit that began this inning to Manny Pena. The play at second kind of ate up Spangenberg. So 5 hits now. Aguilar homered in the first, a 2-run shot. Through 102 games last year compared to this year. 11 last year, 26 home runs this year. OPS higher. You know what? He's got better support around him too. Christian Yelich is hitting in front of him this year, as opposed to last year. Next pitch will be the 35th for Clayton Richard so far in the night. In there for a strike, 2-1. Last 7 starts, Clayton 0 for 4, a 7.05 ERA. Tough first inning tonight, trying to get through the second here without allowing a run. Fouled off, 2-2.
Well, with all the good numbers from Aguilar, there's a strikeout in there as well. 96 on the year. But you know what? When the Brewers are doing what they're doing and he's doing what he's doing offensively, you will gladly take those strikeouts because he's coming with some big home runs, big hits. But Clayton Richard definitely needs a strikeout right here, if not a grounder, to get out of this inning.
Close pitch. Clayton thought he had strike 3. Full count instead. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Do it again, 3-2. Runner goes at first on the 3-2 and a grounder to third base. That is a foul ball. All the way down to third and Villanueva, but fouled off Aguilar.
I'll tell you what, that must have got him pretty good because that ball came out hot. Yep. Got him off the front, top of the foot maybe.
Aguilar, an all-star this year, and grounds to short. Galvis will go to first, his only play, and that will end the inning. Brewers don't score, but take a 4-0 lead to the third. All right, thanks very much, Mike and Mark, as it's 4-0. Brewers on top of the Padres here. The Padres coming to bat in the third inning. Bottom third of the order, Reyes, Spangenberg, and Richard. It's Chase Anderson, perfect through 2. A couple of strikeouts along the way. Franmil Reyes, 234, 7 homers, 9 runs batted in. homered at Wrigley Field over the weekend. Blast straightaway center field, some 477 feet away. It's a start in right field. Let's take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS.
36% piece of the pie, shortstop area, but yet the middle of the field as well at 33% for Reyes.
Leadoff walk here for Reyes. First walk allowed by Anderson. First base runner to reach for the Padres. Franmil Reyes start things here in the third inning. Bring up Corey Spangenberg. Spangenberg getting the start at second base. Andy Green's kind of been going back and forth between guys at second base, whether it be Perella, Swahe, Spangenberg, just waiting for somebody to kind of get hot, and nobody really has.
It's out there for the offering.
It is. It's available.
Whoever wants it can take it.
It's kind of rotating at the moment.
Remember, that was the deal in spring training, too. It was a competition. Yeah. Remember, there was the roster, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was either Spangenberg or Swahe, because Perella was pretty much cemented in there, and they wanted to have that extra guy. So it was a competition between Corey and Carlos.
Boy, is it wet in front of home plate. It's like muddy almost in front of home plate.
It's very moist, and it always seems it's damp here at Miller Park, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's that feel. It's wet down pretty good.
And you know, that's a hard infield. It's down there before the game. And once again, that's not thick grass on the infield. The ball's going to scoot through. That's a hard surface.
Fouled off at the plate, hangs at 1-2. Spangenberg with 6 home runs, 19 runs batted in, hitting at .233. Bats with Franmil Reyes at first base. Nobody out here in the third inning. Line to center, and that's going to fall in for a base hit in front of Kane. I think he was going to try to go after it, but it comes up short in front of him, and a base hit first of the night for the Padres. Corey Spangenberg. Reyes takes second on the single. 2 on, nobody out to start the third inning.
They need to flip over that lineup and at least get on the board here with some action, and nobody out. Corey talked about the second base position. He stays on that pitch from the right-hander nicely, and up 4-0. You're thinking, you know, why not? I'm going to let that ball just dump in front of me there. You keep the double play in order, and nobody moves up rather than second and third. It's first and second for the Brewers defensively.
2 on, nobody out. And Clayton Richard coming up here. They're anticipating he'll be bunting, coming from the corners. 116 average. And he is bunting. The catcher, Pena, throws to first to retire Richard. Sacrifice complete. Second baseman Scope covered. So 2-4 on the sacrifice. Gets Reyes to third. Spangenberg to second with 1 down. Turns over the order. Nice job by Clayton getting it down. And he'll bring up Manuel Margot. And he struck out looking in the first inning. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Chase Anderson. Both came in the first inning. Last 21 games, Margot hitting at .325. 7 extra base hits, 14 runs scored in the last 21 contests. Takes it the other way. That'll get into right field for a base hit. Reyes will score. Here comes Spangenberg. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for Manuel Margot, and the Padres right back in it again. So they get 2 quickly off Chase Anderson here in the third inning.
Well, the way this inning has developed works perfectly for San Diego. As I mentioned with the walk of the base hit, Clayton Richard doing his job getting him over, then Manuel Margot flipping over the top of the lineup and fighting one off the opposite field. Nicely done, Manuel.
One out, Margot at first. We'll keep an eye on him. He's been trying to steal more, been more aggressive on the bases lately. Rick Hosmer coming up. Popped out to short first time up. Last 10 games at .351. Anderson about to deliver his 40th pitch. 2 1/3 innings deep into his outing. Had the 4-run lead. Now it's a 2-run lead. Another check. I guess their scouts noticed that Margot has been trying to steal more lately. A lot of attention to Manuel over there at first.
Well, with Hosmer up, with Renfroe coming up, Villanueva, this is a chance where especially Anderson's giving up the home run. Maybe put a little pressure on Anderson. Have him maybe throw a bad pitch. With a little bit more attention over there to Manuel Margot.
Fouls it off. Hosmer down 0-2. Hosmer with a .412 on base percentage. 6 runs scored and 12-game on base streak for him. Well, stolen bases this year. Padres was 64. Brewers on top in that category. And then the Nationals in between. Good size lead for Margot. Hosmer to left center field, and that's in for a hit from Braun. Up to second goes Margot. Braun gets it back in, but a base hit for Hosmer. 3rd hit of the inning for the Padres. The tying run now at first base.
Well, the Padres are doing it by eyeballing the strike zone with the walk and singles. Eric Hosmer fighting this one off at 92 in. Now Manuel Margot, he's got to hold his ground. He goes about 3/4 of the way to second base. Drops in there. He moves up 90 feet. This is where the Padres need an extra base hit or a long one.
First and second with 1 out, and Hunter Renfroe coming up. Catcher Manny Pena steps in front of the plate, reels off the signs. They try to steal here. What he's going to do. Renfroe a strikeout victim in the first. Strike 1 on the breaking ball. Picks up that outside corner.
There's a curveball. Last start for Anderson. You know, he throws the 4-seamer and 2-seamer. Heavy on the 4-seamers. Other than the fastball, his secondary pitch, he throws the changeup. He threw it 16 times and his curveball 16 times. So to me, it's almost like, you know, what feel does he have? First pitch breaking ball, then he went back to it. It's a good spot here for a changeup. Or a fastball up and in. Oh, that was one you got to do damage with there. I think Hunter wants that pitch back. Barrel working underneath that fastball.
Two on, 2 runs in the Padres' 3rd inning. Renfroe goes up and gets this and lifts a fly ball to right. Yelich moving to the warning track to make the catch. Tagging at second is Margot, heading to 3rd on the fly out to right. He'll get to 3rd with now 2 down in the inning. Renfroe did not miss by much. That took Christian Yelich by surprise and took him back to the dirt of the track.
I didn't think it was going to go that far off the bat. It just kept on going and going. And as it went back towards the track and the wall, Manuel Margot went back to second base and tagged.
Well, certainly surprised by that.
Yeah.
Talking to Lorenzo Cain about it. So 2 down, first and third. And here comes Christian Villanueva the second time tonight. He grounded out to third base, and Mike Moustakas in the second inning. That's 6 games, a .400 average for the Padres' third baseman. Strike call. Villanueva didn't like it. Nick Marley calling the balls and strikes for the umpires tonight. Look out. Watch your face.
That's scary.
Anderson buzzing the tower.
He wants it up and in.
Ooh.
And that's the correct way to turn as Villanueva gets out of the way. That'll wake you up.
Now goes down and away. Misses for ball 2, 2-1.
Well, the proper way to turn, Villanueva does it right here. Recognition and then turn away. Show him name and number to the pitcher. Gives you an idea how close that was.
Ball 4 and he walks him. Second walk of the inning, end of the outing for Chase Anderson. Now the bases are loaded. Johnson, the pitching coach, coming out. First visit of the night to check with Chase Anderson here, who's given up 2 runs and now has walked. The bases loaded. And you get Austin Hedges coming up next. Good opportunity here for the Padres and a nice answer so far. You're at the top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, the key here as the visit from the pitching coach is just not to get too froggy out there and swing at one of Anderson's pitches. He's falling behind, 2 walks this inning. The last 2 starts, he's had 2 walks. So back to back, as far as walks in this inning, to lead off that scored. Now that one there. Time for the Padres to do some damage, but don't be swinging like at a first pitch breaking ball in the dirt right here. They can come to you. If he throws a nasty breaking ball for a strike, tip your cap to him. Okay, I'm cool with that. Bases are loaded. The pressure is still on you.
Austin Hedges, the 8th member of the Padres to bat here in the 3rd inning. In the dirt, gathered by Pena. Nicely done. Block that, save a run perhaps. Good amount of distance behind home plate here to the backstop. We got Margot 90 feet away. Bases filled with Padres right now. Two and 0. All of a sudden, Anderson's become a little wild here. Takes a stroll behind the mound in the midst of the meeting with himself right now.
So he missed with the curveball, missed with the fastball. I'll tell you, as each ball is thrown, ball, not strike, that strike zone starts to shrink for Austin.
Got a 28 pitch inning right now. Long one for Anderson. He's not out of it yet. Fouled back 2-2. Battles back with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
I think that's the hottest we've seen out of the hand of Anderson, 94.
angry delivery as he got behind. Even up now at 2-2. Fouled off to the right again. The inning continues. Freddie Galvis waits on deck. Our 2 outs here. Golden opportunity. Where to get 2. On a 2-run single by Manuel Margot in this inning. That's strike 3. Hedges goes looking. Big pitch for Chase Anderson. Padres do get 2 runs back though. Manuel Margot with a 2-run single to right field. Able to score Franmil Reyes and Corey Spangenberg. It's 4-2 Milwaukee at the end of 2.5.
My perspective, there was nothing in my life that was worth living for. I love sports of all kinds. I'll never do that. I'm making my living as a professional athlete. I'm sure I'll never do that. And I was 24-year-old and single, and I like girls, and I'm going, that's off the table too. I mean, why didn't you just come in? And I guess, you know,
catch former Chargers place kicker and longtime San Diego resident Rolf Benirschke. It's an amazing story of chance and resilience on Inside San Diego Sports tonight after Padres Live, the post-game show. I tell you what, if you haven't met Rolf, you're missing out. The guy's a gem.
Liner to left. Ringing single for Jonathan Schoop. Only been 2 for his last 22. He's got to feel pretty good right there. Leadoff single starts the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Brewers.
You know, Don, there are guys who struggle and they get jammed and there's a little duck snort over the infielder's head. They're happy with that. But when you're struggling, look at this hard holding back the smiles there for Jonathan. You mentioned it. You gave the numbers since he's been a Brewer. To square one up like that for a clean single to left, that's extra special for him, I'm sure.
Leadoff single to begin the 3rd inning. Ryan Braun. It's his second look at Clayton Richard. Doubled off him in the 1st inning. Skies one foul off to the right out of play. Hosmer gets over there, but no play. Career against the Padres, total 57 games for Ryan Braun. 57 hits, a .302 average, 14 home runs against San Diego.
Man, how time flies, because if my memory serves me correctly, he made his major league debut in San Diego, being at that game, and time just goes by so quickly, Donnie. Goes back in 2007. Man. Hit .324 as a rookie.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Throw to first, and they've got him picked off. What are they going to say? It's a balk. I'm going to charge Clayton Richard with a balk. Alan Porter. We had him picked off, but Alan Porter saying the move was illegal.
Maybe a little bit too far towards home plate, according to, this will give us a good angle. Is that past the 45? I think it might be. 45-degree angle. First base to the home plate. You break that 45-degree angle. Balk, in the opinion of Alan Porter.
102nd scope. Oh, nobody out. Foul back to the screen, 1-2. Ron doubled. He also scored as part of a 4-run first inning for Milwaukee. Back here in the third after the Padres answered with a pair of runs in the top half of the third inning. Inside, 2-2. Fly ball, deep right center field. Back goes Margot at the wall. It is caught by Reyes. Right along with Margot. Is tagging and moving to third is Scope. The bigger man out there. Reyes able to make the catch over Margot. Both gathering right to the warning track and in front of the wall. One down.
This is great concentration. And Manuel Margot, thank goodness he kind of puts on the brakes there. Hey, get out of the way. You don't want to get in the way of him. Great concentration. Good catch by Fran Meal.
So Scope tagged up now 90 feet away, brings the infield in. And Moustakas chops one foul outside at first. And his old friend Eric Hosmer.
Boy, that balk is huge for Milwaukee. Now fewer than 2 outs. Runner at third base.
Fly ball, center field. Should be plenty deep enough. Margot, he is there to make the catch. Tagging at third is Scope. Throw coming in, and it won't be in time. 5-2 Milwaukee on a sac fly by Mike Moustakas that scores Jonathan Scope. Two newcomers getting it done here for Milwaukee in the third inning. Third RBI of this game for Moustakas. Five-2 Brewers. 2 down in the inning. Base is now empty. Hernan Perez, the shortstop, coming up. Bounces in, 2-0. On the ground, left side. Galvis from a stride on the outfield grass. Throw towards the runner, but some fancy footwork at first by Hosmer. Another run for the Brewers. Welcome back to Milwaukee. Into the fourth inning we go from Miller Park. Brewers on top 5-2. They had a run in their half of the third inning, and it's Freddie Galvis leads it off in the fourth inning and takes a pitch down and in. Chase Anderson had a tough third inning, gave up 2 runs, but out of a bases loaded 2 outs jam by striking out Austin Hedges. So the Padres left him loaded in the third. Now deal with a 3-run deficit here in the fourth inning. Pitch 60. And it'll miss.
Well, one thing I like about Chase Anderson, he seems to work quickly. He likes to get that rock and go to work.
Tired of the first 6 Padres he faced in a row. 2 by way of the K, but then ran into trouble, as we mentioned, in the third inning. 2-2. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Galvis. 4th strikeout for Anderson, 1 down.
Well, working quickly and going to the curveball. Splitting the heart of the plate at 76.
Franmil Reyes coming up here. Walked and scored. He got the scoring started for the Padres in the third inning with that walk. And around to score the first run. A nice catch last inning too. And they fly out off the bat of Ryan Braun to deep right center field. Fouls it off, 1-1.
You know, when we saw that home run off the bat of Reyes at Wrigley Field, I'm telling you, he could take one off his own photo of that center field scoreboard with the way he swings the bat, makes contact. I mean, he hit the ball a long way, 477 feet, and he didn't even get it all.
No.
He was out in front of it a little bit.
It's kind of scary.
It is very scary. It's a big kid right there.
Fly ball headed towards right center field, sending Kane back at the wall. He leaps, and that ball is gone. Home run. Franmil Reyes gets his 8th of the year, and it's now 5-3. Back come the Padres again. Kane tried to time the leap out there. He was frustrated, almost like he thought he could get it. Reyes on the home run, out of his reach.
Well, when an outfielder like Kane, you know, we've seen him in the past, and what he can do when he has a bead on it like this, you know, put your pen down until the play is complete, just out of his reach. And here's the frustration, Don, as he slaps the wall there.
Popped up to shallow left off the bat of Spangenberg. Ryan Braun makes the catch, 2 down. Yeah, it almost looked like Chase Anderson thought that Kane was going to make that catch. The wall, you can jump up over and pull him back here in Milwaukee. And Lorenzo Cain, great outfielder. I'm sure he's done it a lot here in his time spent here. Did a lot, of course, in Kansas City. There's Clayton Richard with 2 down. That was also an area where the wall jets in, goes back out again as you get further into center field. 400 to straightaway center. Pop up left side. Mike Moustakas comes into the infield grass and makes the catch. A home run by Franmil Reyes. It's 5-3 Milwaukee. Time now for the Valley View Casino trivia question of the night.
Who doesn't love trivia?
How many times have the Brewers made the postseason in franchise history? Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia.
Well, I know 82.
Harvey Wallbangers?
Yes, and I remember that year C.C. Sabathia was traded at the deadline. I think they made it then as well.
Yep.
What year was that?
Late 2000.
Yeah.
Like 8 or 9 maybe.
And as that question is posed, I'm cheating by looking around the ballpark looking for banners up in the Miller Park rafters.
At least you're honest about it. Look at the NL Central. Game and a half back of the Cubs.
Well, the Brewers definitely made themselves better at the trade deadline, and the Cubs, and I'll be quite honest with you, Don, we've seen every team that's pretty much been in the race, right, this year. Is there a runaway team in the NL?
I don't think there is.
I don't think so either.
I like what you said the other day. The team I'm stunned about more than anything. Everybody says, well, what about teams that are doing well? Washington Nationals, I thought they were going to be really good this year.
You and me both.
This one fouled off down the right field line out of play.
I mean, with that rotation, I mean, and the offense, the potential offense of the Nationals, right?
Oh, 2. Just missed. 1 and 2.
By the way, are you into Game of Thrones?
I'm not. But they're having a Games of Thrones night here.
Yes, they are. I'm not either.
Strike 3 call. And Clayton Richard picks up his first K. Manny Pena down by way of the K for the first out here of the 4th inning.
Couldn't tell you the first thing about it. One thing I could tell you, though, is a nice pinpoint control there to get Pena for the first out on that fastball. Looked like it was a glove side fastball in to the Brewers catcher.
So there you go.
Chase Targanderson.
Sure. Fouled off down the right field line out of play. I'm a little surprised you're not into it. It seems like it would be something you'd like.
I never got into the sci-fi stuff. Like, I'm not a Trekkie. Never got into the Star Wars stuff. It's just not my style.
A lot of those movies were made after 1990. Swing and a miss. Anderson strikes out 2 down here in the 4th. Back-to-back Ks for Clayton Richard.
I know there's different type of genres that people enjoy and styles of movies. I like comedies. I like real life documentaries made into movies. What do you like?
I like around the same thing. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
I really like documentaries. I'm starting to really get into documentaries.
So,
yeah.
When's the life story of Don Orsillo going to happen?
I don't think that's ever going to happen. No one cares. Nobody cares. Trust me. 2 down. So Kane 2 for 2 in this game. Single to center, double to right in the 2nd.
Can't tell you how important. I know it's the bottom of the order. Now top of the order to Kane. How important this is for Clayton Richard.
Fly ball, right field. Reyes on the track, makes the catch in front of the wall. Works out to be a 1-2-3 inning. Done with 4, 5-3 Brewers. Here at the top of the 5th inning. Time now for the answer to our Valley View trivia question. It's about the postseason and the Brewers. How many times have the Brewers made the postseason in franchise history?
3.
4. Pretty close. At 82, right, but also 81.
Oh, I forgot.
Same
81.
group of guys. 2008, 2011.
Remember in 82 it was Cardinals Brewers World Series.
Yep.
Oh, that's where the banners are.
There you go. You could have cheated if you had only known. High drive, deep left field, and back, and that ball is gone. Manuel Margot having a huge game. He drove in 2 with a single in the 3rd, and now he homers. Padres back within a run. It's now 5-4. Home run number 5 for Manuel Margot of the year.
Well, as I said before, the last out for the Brewers in the 4th, I said it was a very important inning for Clayton Richard after the Padres scored in the 3rd. Clayton Richard 1-2-3 in the 4th. He holds the Brewers to the 2-run lead, and with this swing, we've got launch angle, we've got exit velocity, and the Padres now trail by 1.
Strike 1 to Eric Hosmer. Manuel Margot, he has been on fire and continues to be tonight. 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Just a solo home run to open up the 5th inning.
Now the 23rd home run given up by Chase Anderson this year.
Leads in that category in the National League now. Been tied with Julio Teheran.
Prior to this game, a home run per 5.7 innings.
2 today. Hosmer swinging for the fence. 2-2. Renfroe waits on deck. Padres bat here in the top half of the 5th inning. That is ball 4, and down to first base goes Hosmer, on for the 2nd time in the game. 3rd walk allowed by Chase Anderson. Renfroe 0 for 2 tonight, struck out swinging in the 1st. Flied out to the warning track in right field in the 3rd. 9 home runs of his own on the season. Fouled off over by the on deck circle. Brewers have action in their pen for the first time tonight. As Anderson gives up a home run and a walk. That's Corbin Burns, a right-hander warming. .92 mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2. Wow, very close pitch. Called the ball, 1-2. The home run by Margot, estimated at 422 feet. Chop to 3rd, but foul. Outfield playing for Renfroe to pull. Christian Villanueva waits on deck. Two and two. Chase Anderson coming in at 7-7 individually.
Yeah, Donnie, you mentioned action in the bullpen for the Brewers. They're ranked 5th in the National League. Opponents hitting .315 off that bullpen.
High and foul. 3.65 ERA coming in for Anderson, but he's allowed 4 runs so far in this game. Now Renfroe takes ball 3. So a full count to Hosmer before he walked, and now a full count to Renfroe. This pitch should be the 85th of the outing for Chase Anderson. Popped up foul, back and out of play. Center field, Lorenzo Cain comes in a step and makes the catch for out number 1 of the 5th inning.
Enhance your next game day experience with the MLB Ballpark app. Access and manage your tickets. Enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much, much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
1 out, Hosmer at first, a run in. Christian Villanueva getting his 3rd plate appearance tonight against Chase Anderson. Grounded out to 3rd in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd. Does it seem a little dark in here to you?
It has, yes, it does. Even with the it's completely dark. Sun has set, lights are on. This is one of those ballparks where I've always thought it's been dark. Yes.
Just not like brightly lit.
No. I think that's a question to ask the players. Got to do that tomorrow when we go down to talk to Andy. The batter's eye looks nice.
Yes.
The view from the batter's box.
Lights are so high here, though, up at where the roof is. It just seems kind of like dimly lit.
It does.
Popped up, shallow left center, going out a long ways. Perez, and coming in, making the catch in the backhand is Cain. Lorenzo Cain makes the grab for out number 2. That'll run a long way. It's a good center fielder right there.
Yeah, it is. That's a great catch. Now watch him on contact. He kind of broke back a little bit. He just positioned himself as if he was going to go back because fooled by the big swing. We heard crack of the bat, so you know he got in on him, or he was quick to it off the end of the bat, and then make it up with the ramming speed for the catch.
2 down in the 5th. Hosmer still at first, held on by Aguilar, and it brings up Austin Hedges. Take strike 1.
It's going to be a bad feeling for an outfielder when you make that commitment. He turned his body as if to go back, and then I got to run in. I thought that ball was going to, even though it was Lorenzo Cain out there, I thought that ball had a chance to dump in there.
Hedges popped out to short in the 2nd, then struck out with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Called the ball, 2-1.
Pretty good pitch right there. I think Anderson got squeezed a little bit.
Not getting the low strike call. A short lead over at first base right now for Hosmer as Anderson backs off. 92 pitches for the starter. Then reliever Corbin Burns has been warming in the pen for the Brewers. 3-1. Galvis on deck. Padres batting in the top of the 5th. Now trailing by just a run. Brewers scored 4 times in the first. 4-0 lead. It's now 5-4. And a liner foul. Right ahead of that was Austin Hedges. Green's Padres took 2 out of 4 in Chicago, first leg of his 2-city tour. Hosmer can get a start at first base now. Full count, 2 down. Hedges fouls it off. Do it again, 3-2. Hosmer was off. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. He walks him. Second walk of the inning. 4th of the outing allowed by Anderson. So 2 on, 2 down. And here comes Craig Counsell. Chase Anderson sees him and takes a little stroll in behind the mound. Pitching change here for the Milwaukee Brewers. Anderson will depart after throwing 96 pitches in this game and giving up a home run to begin the inning. Pitching change for the Brewers on top 5-4. All right, Mike, Mark, thanks very much. Back here in Milwaukee with 2 outs, runners at first and second, a run in, and Corbin Burns makes an appearance in his 10th game.
2-0 record, nice ERA. When you talk about retiring batters, that first batter faces 8 out of 9. Inherits a couple of runners here with 2 outs.
Freddie Galvis with a swing and a miss for strike 1. Got away from Pena briefly, but he's able to grab it.
And the opponent's only hitting 200. They're 8 for 40 off the right-hander.
Takes over for Chase Anderson. 4 walks, that tied a season high. Done it twice this year, once against the Reds, once against the Cardinals. He was responsible for the 2 men on. Hosmer at second, Hedges at first with 2 down. Fly ball, right field. Christian Yelich back a step, makes the catch that ends the inning. Manuel Margot, the leadoff home run for the Padres in the top of the 5th inning. Manny gets his 5th of the year, gets the Padres back within a run. Halfway through, Milwaukee on top 5-4. Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the pet company. And by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. Bottom of the 5th inning, a 1-run game. Brewers on top 5-4. Christian Yelich, Jesus Aguilar, and Jonathan Scope scheduled to bat in the 5th. Fouled off down the left field line, out of play. Richard gave up 4 runs in the 1st inning and a run in the 3rd. Time now for our Kia drive to success. Christian Yelich, most hits since the All-Star break with 34. Very good second half. Out of here, Molina with 25.
Yeah, crazy numbers against left-handers this year. 368 average against lefties.
Swing and a miss, and Richard strikes him out. 3rd strikeout for Clayton Richard.
Well, we talk about adjustments, and the old cliche, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, up to this point, Clayton Richard had a 1-2-3 in the 4th, his first win of the evening. After 4 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, he has found a groove. He's found that release point, and when you get Christian Yelich swinging like that, you're doing something right. Clayton has definitely turned it around.
1 out in the 5th for Jesus Aguilar.
We always talk about the 3rd time around, right? That was the 3rd time around for Yelich, now for Aguilar.
A 2-run shot in the 1st inning. Home run was his 27th of the year. RBI 78, 79. Got the Brewers off to the fast start. Two and 2. 7 in a row retired by Clayton Richard, with Jonathan Scope waiting on deck.
Tried to go soft there, but Aguilar's not biting.
Ball 4, and he walks in. This walk allowed by Richard as we check in with Bob Scanlon.
You know, Don, with Scope coming up to the plate, it brings up the topic of him, Moustakas, Soria, Lyles. We've talked about the new faces in this Brewers clubhouse, and talking to some of the coaches before the ball game, they said one of the strengths of their team has been the team concept. There are no guys here that are playing for themselves. There's no one player that's bigger than anybody else. Craig Counsell has done a fantastic job of making sure that everybody has bought in, and they've said there have been a few couple of new faces that have come on board, not recently, but earlier in the season that didn't fit in. Those guys got weeded out early. It'll be interesting to see how those guys mesh with this new club.
Franmil Reyes making the catch on the warning track, having to go a long way there as Jonathan Scope is retired. Aguilar back to the bag at first. That's interesting.
Well, it wasn't the most graceful for Franmil Reyes out in right field. This ball slicing off the bat of Scope. The big kid making it happen.
Just weeding out some of the guys that really didn't fit in here at the beginning of the year for the Brewers and making it into a team that does get along for the most part.
A lot of meetings with the coaching staff, the manager, the general manager. You sit down, it gets to the point where it says, hey, you know what? We need to make some moves. These guys are character guys who've been on winning teams. Talk about Moustakas.
They're going to be team guys.
There's Christian Yelich. Of course, Don mentioned it in our game open. Acquired the Miami Marlins deal.
A lot of Miami Marlins heading other places. So bouncing in.
You know, Don and Mud, going back to that culture topic, I think that's going to be an interesting challenge for Andy Green as you're teaching young players. Not only are you teaching them how to be major league players, especially some of these young guys that we hope become superstars, but also training them to be team players, not just, hey, can I be a superstar on my own? It's a dual challenge for a manager, I think, especially with young guys. Mud, your thoughts?
I agree with your sentiments there, Scan. And we've all come across, if you play in the big leagues for quite a while, you come across players who are selfish, and it doesn't bode well. And the last thing you want is a younger player to fall under that trap.
But isn't it a challenge, Mud? I mean, I remember when I first got to the big leagues, the first thing you're trying to do as a young player is prove to yourself that you belong there, you know, and I don't think that's unnatural. And it's easier to teach those young guys to be a team player when you're surrounded by veteran guys that are already doing it, but tougher when you have a bunch of young guys that are all trying to figure out, hey, do I belong here? How good can I get? But also getting them to buy in. And what I'm hoping, and maybe the Padres are hoping as well, is that because a lot of these young guys are coming along together and that culture is being instilled down in the minor leagues, that it's a little bit more of a natural transition once they get here.
Yeah, we talked about it last year, the last couple of years when the minor league teams have won together, and I think that starts down there. Hopefully it translates in a big league uniform.
Second walk allowed by Richard, and both have come in this inning. So all of a sudden, runners at first and second with 2 down, and Mike Moustakas coming up. Moustakas with a 2-run home run in the first inning. With a sac fly in the third. He's driven in 3 runs. Bounces in and Hedges blocks it. A ball and a strike. I mentioned back in the first inning, Mike Moustakas with home run number 2 in a Brewers uniform. 2-run shot.
Yeah, exit velocity, distance. When it's all said and done, he hit it high, hit it far, went over the wall. It's called the home run.
Foul back to the screen, 1-2. Well, it struck out to begin the inning. Aguilar walked. Scope flat out to right. Richard allowed his second walk of the inning to Ryan Braun. 1-2 pitch coming up to Mike Moustakas. Pickoff play at second, and safely back at second base is Aguilar. Let's see if Andy Green wants to challenge this.
Well, I think a good throw down by the knee area may have gotten him. He goes in feet first. Throw is high.
Padres going to challenge.
Oh, I might have got him on the right elbow.
So Andy Green challenging here. Call on the field was safe at second base. Second base umpire Todd Tichenor.
I think he got him on the right elbow before his foot touched the bag. It's going to be close. I think that's the angle there that sells it as an out.
I would agree. Let's see if they agree. Again, the call on the field is safe at second base for Aguilar, trying to get back.
I want to know if, like, players in this situation actually go up to the guys, hey, dude, seriously, are you out or safe?
He is out, and the Padres win the challenge. Call overturned.
Nice.
That will end the fifth inning. We head to the sixth, 5-4 Milwaukee. Well, this was the other day. Home run for Franmil Reyes that goes 477 feet, batter's eye at Wrigley Field. Homered again tonight. Well, the other way, some 381 feet. Just out of the reach of Lorenzo Cain. One of two Padres home runs. The other Manuel Margot. Well, solo shots. And here is Reyes to lead it off in the top of the sixth inning. Reyes has walked down the home run you saw. Corbin Burns, who got the final out of the fifth, back out there to start the sixth inning. And ahead 1-2.
Looks like he works quickly as well, like Chase Anderson. He gets that ball and gets squared up on that pitcher's plate, and he's ready to go to work.
Fouled off to the right, out of play.
And he knows he loves the fastball. Burns knows that Reyes loves the fastball, so he Throws a couple of wrinkles up there, and Fran Miel way out in front of that last little slider.
On the ground up the middle into center field. On for the third time tonight is Franmil Reyes. Wide turn at first. He'll hold on with a leadoff single in the 6th inning.
That's a good piece of hitting right there by Franmil Reyes. It's a pitch that's away, but yet he gets out in front of it and hooks it with some authority. And the way that they were playing him beats the shift up the middle, just left the second base bag.
Single to begin things here in the 6th inning brings up Corey Spangenberg. 1-for-2 is Spangenberg. And the start at second base. Clayton Richard scheduled to bat next. And Carlos Asuaje has come out on deck. Going first, and back is Reyes.
Well, Clayton bounced back, didn't he, Donnie?
Sure did, after 4 runs in the 1st inning.
Big key was that 4th inning where he had a 1-2-3 inning, the only 1-2-3 inning of the evening for Clayton.
That's a veteran starter right there for you.
Yeah.
A guy who is not panicked after giving up 4 runs in the 1st inning.
He was not on. The velocity wasn't consistent. It was 88, 89. Then he started hitting his spots. Ran into a little bit of trouble in the 2nd, left him stranded, 1 in the 3rd. And then that 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. And a nice pickoff to end the 5th.
Throw to first, and Reyes just back, diving to the outfield side of the bag. Down low for ball 2. With a single in the 3rd, came around to score the 2nd Padres run. Flat out to left in the 4th, so 1-for-2 day so far for the Padres second baseman. In a step on the grass at 3rd is Mike Moustakas, in case he entertains any thoughts of bunting. Go to first, and back is Reyes. Foul back, 2-2. Chase Anderson, the starter for the Brewers. 4 2/3 didn't go long enough to make himself eligible for a victory. So 4 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs. Walked 4, struck out 4. Ended up throwing 96 pitches.
Let's hang with him.
Two. Ball 3 inside.
Nobody said this game of baseball was going to be fair, right? Can't get that final out of the 5th. Got to go to the pen. Got to do what's best for the team.
Line to center. Kane coming in, but that's in for a hit. Reyes will take second base. Second hit of the game for Spangenberg. Not hit hard, but well placed in shallow center field.
You know, I'm really surprised on that play. Perez did not cover second base. Perez was loitering, I should say, around the shortstop area as this one fought off here. Kane charging. Now, the reason why I say that is because Reyes had to hold up. He wasn't sure if Kane was going to catch that ball. There's a good chance that if Perez was covering second base, that's a force play. He wasn't even anywhere near the bag.
The pinch hitting is Asuaje. 3 for 11 as a pinch hitter, 3 RBIs. He bats here with 2 on, nobody out. Squaring, and he drops it down. The catcher, Pena, gets out there. The throw just in time to get Asuaje. Second baseman Scope covers. So 2-4 on the sacrifice. Reyes to third and Spangenberg to second with now 1 out in the 6th inning. Tying run 90 feet away.
A job well done. It got it done early.
It's been a good game tonight for Manuel Margot. Struck out in the first, singled in the third before homering in the 5th. Driven in 3 runs in this game. The home run, his 5th of the year. The run was a solo shot single. Drove in 2. We're meeting at the mound here.
They do have action in the pen. There is a left-hander heating up for the Brewers.
Josh Hader warming in the pen right now.
First base open. Manuel Margot is swinging a good bat this evening after striking out in the first. We've got left-hander Eric Hosmer on deck. I'm throwing him a first pitch breaking ball right here. Slider down and away.
Fly ball sent to left field. Back goes Braun in front of the track to make the catch. Tagging at third is Reyes. Going to third base is Spangenberg. Throw is going to be late, and the Padres have tied the score 5-5. Manuel Margot, the sac fly, and it's 5-5 here in the 6th inning. The Padres trail 4-0 at 1 point. Now they got the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
It was a first pitch slider, and Manuel Margot, Franmil Reyes, high fives all the way around. Enough to loft that ball to deep left field to get that run home.
4 RBIs tonight for Margot. Ties a career high. Spangenberg at third, and a chance here for Hosmer to put the Padres on top. Another meeting at the mound. From third, Moustakas, Pena the catcher.
Where do they keep the mound visit count here at Miller Park? I haven't found it yet on the scoreboard.
That's a good question. I don't either. And a double switch looks like it's coming up here. Craig Counsell going to make the double switch. So a pitching change here from Milwaukee. Josh Hader warming up in the pen. Looks like he'll be coming in. This game now tied 5-5 from Milwaukee. As it turns out, didn't start that way, though.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Boy, he was leaving balls over the heart of the plate. You can see the frustration after the home runs. Then the glove side command of the fastball. threw some good breaking balls. You get Christian Yelich swinging down and away like that, and then a little help. Hey, who says all the outs have to make at the plate? How about a pickoff player, Freddie Galvis, to erase a runner? That actually ended an inning. Erases the runner out of scoring position, and we are tied. And Clayton Richard spits the hook.
So Corbin Burns is gone, and Josh Hader now into the game.
Well, this left-hander, he's got some cheese, no pun intended, that we are in America's Dairyland. 38th game, nice record, a beautiful ERA of 1.31, and look at the strikeouts. Look at those strikeouts. 101 strikeouts in only 55 innings.
Not sure what the deal is here. Craig Counsell coming out to talk to home plate umpire again.
Is he talking mound visits? Because they're down to 2.
Well, the umpire's going to get together. Not sure what this is about, but at least 3 of the umpires going to get together. Now they're calling in Todd Tichenor from second base. Eric Thames, as part of the double switch, comes in right field, and moving from right to left is Yelich. Ryan Braun coming out of the game. I think this is over mound visits. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, there was a pitching change, right? With the didn't they go out to the mound and talk before the double switch was made?
It was like to buy some time.
So that's one. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but okay, they just switched it. It was at 2. Back. So the pitching change does not constitute a mound visit. That's where the discrepancy was, I think.
Well, Eric Hosmer standing in. It's 1 trip is what he was letting him know. So they have 3 remaining. Swing and a miss for Hosmer. Go ahead run 90 feet away. Again, Hader trying to get that strikeout. Hosmer tonight 1 for 2. He's also walked, so been aboard twice. Padres have tied it up here in the 6th inning. To first base, and Aguilar will flip to Hader, who covers to end the inning. Padres get a run, tie the score 5-5. Fun night tonight in Milwaukee, and a game tied 5-5 now. Game 1, a 3-game series between the Padres and the Brewers. Like Moustakas leading it off against a new Padres pitcher, Phil Maton, into the game. And he grooved strike one in there.
Last time out for Phil at Wrigley Field was back on Saturday against the Cubs. Pitched the 8th inning. It was a 1-2-3 8th with a strikeout.
Takes over for Clayton Richard. The first 5 innings, giving up 7 hits and 5 runs. Walked 2, struck out 2. Will not be part of the decision tonight.
Well, a good test right here for Phil Maton as the left-hander Moustakas comes up.
Shift on the right side, bringing Villanueva, the third baseman, over to join Spangenberg and Hosmer. Spangenberg in short right.
In order for that to work, Phil Maton's got to pitch to that shift, hit his spots. Red light emergency swing on that one. Lefties off of Maton. 276. This is a big out right here. He's got him in the hole, 1-2.
High drive to right, but it's headed foul. Out ahead. Moustakas now, Perez next as the Brewers bat here in their half of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, and Maton strikes out Moustakas to begin the 6th inning.
Big out for Phil Maton. How about a heater up and in at 92? A little cut fastball at that. Can't get the heads extended, can't get the barrel on it. Phil Maton with the game face all the time. With the punchy.
One down in the 6th inning brings up Hernan Perez. Perez has flied to left and grounded to short, 0 for 2. Ball and a strike. Fastball on that outside corner. Well placed by Phil Maton. Second arm used tonight by the Padres. In a 5-5 game.
Late on a 92. Who'd you have in the sausage race tonight?
Actually didn't have a chance to pick.
Really?
Yeah, you?
I picked a brat, but I think it was the Italian who went home the winner. It's a close race.
Elevates, not chasing, is Perez with 1 out.
It's that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That may set up a little cut fastball down and away for Phil Maton.
Thought about it, but holds off. So we had your winner here in between innings.
Well, the Italian's out in front now. See the hot dog? Yeah, the Italian starts like, oh,
that was a photo finish.
Yeah, he was kind of showing off. Well, the Italian won, but they're all wieners to us.
That is ball 4 on a close pitch. Maton thought he had him. But he walks Perez instead, a 1-out walk.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
1 out, 1 on. Manny Pena coming up. Pena singled in the infield to second base in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 4th inning. Scoreboard just went out.
We just lost all power to the scoreboard. The ribbon, everything.
That's not good.
No. Going old school.
Scoreboard's off. All the auxiliary paneling off around the ballpark. Throw to first. Lights are on, though, and that's all that matters. To Pena will have to wait another check. Perez crossing over to get back to the bag. That's going to miss for ball 2, 2-0.
You know, I kind of went in panic mode right there, right?
I know, I noticed. I saw you over there panicking.
And I asked the truck, I said, hey guys, what's the count? And our director, Zach Jensen, said, hey dude, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay, my bad. So thank you guys.
Ooh, catcher headed out here, Hedges. Mound visit here for the Padres.
Down to 5 now for San Diego. The Brewers with 3.
Yeah, it's a really cool part about our Fox box here is that you have all that information. You can readily get it.
Yep.
Fans in the ballpark aren't going to get any information. Out of town scores are out. Main scoreboard in center completely out. The band around the ballpark, though, has come back up again. It's auxiliary boards. So on grounded foul to the end of the Padres dugout. They're housed on the third base side here at Miller Park. The 2-1 pitch coming up. Lays off. 3-1. It's on 17 pitches, working with his third hitter of the inning. And struck out the first batter, Moustakas, walked Perez. Go to first, and that one falls out of the glove of Hosmer. Perez back. Eric Thames, who took over as part of the double switch. It's on deck. Runner goes. Pitch swung on and driven to left field. Back goes Renfroe. He will have room in front of the warning track. And he makes the catch as Perez goes back to the bag at first with now 2 down.
Maybe a little bit too quick to that one. It didn't have that crisp sound off the barrel.
Andy Green headed out with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Thames will be the next hitter, and we'll have a new pitcher for the Padres. So pitching change, game tied 5-5 from Miller Park. And Matt Strom comes into the game here for the Padres, their third arm of the night.
He's been throwing the ball really, really well. Last time out Saturday in Chicago, in an inning, he struck out 2 Cubs. He inherits a runner. He has started. He's relieved. Very aggressive in the strike zone. Really good splits, too. Lefties 250. It's amazing the righties. That means I think he's got the good stuff down and into the righties. He busts the fastball in. He needs to get Eric Thames right here. Lefty on lefty with the run around first.
In the air to right, down the line towards the pole. It is a foul ball. To the right of the pole down there. Thames jumping on the first pitch, served up by Strom, and he was out ahead just a little bit.
Strike 1.
Highest percentage of inherited runners stranded, 76.7% of the time. 0-2. So the runner at first in Hernan Perez, the responsibility of Phil Maton. Thames with 15 home runs on the year. His 63rd game of the year.
Yes,
he gone around. They'll check. Yes, he did. Rung up by Bill Miller.
Throw him out.
Throw down to first, and Hosmer will apply the tag on the bag that will end the inning. Wow. That was almost a really bad thing. But as it turns out, the strikeout ends the 6th inning. To the 7th we go, tied 5-5.
On the ground, Council, and there it is, Trevor Hoffman, a milestone, number 600.
Well, back in 2010, look how young the boys were then.
Yeah.
As Trevor Hoffman in a Brewers uniform gets his 600th save of his career. Hunter Renfroe leads it off here in the 7th inning. How strange was it to see him in another uniform?
I was just going to say something. I was going to ask you if it was okay if I could editorialize. In a perfect world, I would have loved to see Trevor get all those others saved, 600 and 601 in a Padre uniform. It just didn't work out that way. Don't know the whole story. Don't want to even rehash it, but it happened. That's the way it is. But
line to left for Hunter Renfroe. His first hit of the game, a single to left field. It's time now for our Coors Banquet timeless moment on this date, August the 7th, 2010. Trevor Hoffman, save number 597. Milwaukee's 5-2 win over the Astros. Good runner on in the 7th inning for the Padres, and Christian Villanueva coming up. Josh Hader back out there again. He got the final out of the 6th, starts the 7th. Check on first, and Renfroe back to the bag. Hit by Renfroe, the 8th hit of the game for the Padres. They're now out hitting the Brewers in this game 8-7. Renfroe back out to the lead again. Check swing, foul towards the end of the Brewers dugout. First base way.
Well, Hader came in that last half inning against the Padres, got that 3rd and out, right? He's made 15 appearances, at least 2 innings this season. So this inning and possibly another one. The hard thrower. Astronomical numbers. We mentioned it.
To right field, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Heading first to third is Renfroe. Throw will go to second, and a good start to the 7th inning for the Padres. First and third with nobody out.
Love to see the 1st and 3rd action. As soon as that ball was hit, bang, got to go. Hunter Renfroe, he knows he's not going to be caught. And he does a nice job of going from 1st to 3rd, getting 90 feet away from that run that's possibly going to break this tie.
1st and 3rd, nobody out. And Austin Hedges standing in. Hedges popped out to short in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 3rd, walked in the 5th. Brewers pen, we've seen Josh Hader into this game. Jeremy Jeffress. Corey Knebel, of course, at the end.
Number 5 in the National League with a 3.60 ERA for the Brewers bullpen.
Did he go? No, he did not, says Alan Porter. So it's 2-0.
Don't forget the arm also of Joakim Soria. More strikeouts than innings pitched, 49 in 38 innings. Soria about it.
In the dirt, blocked by Pena.
Saves a run. That's a stat I'd like to see. I'm surprised they haven't come up with that yet. Run around 3rd, ball in the dirt, blocked, a run saved for the catcher.
Good start to the 7th inning for the Padres. A single by Renfroe starts the inning to left. Villanueva goes to right, 1st and 3rd. And a 2-1 to Austin Hedges. Ball 3. Freddie Galvis waits on deck. In the air, down the right field line, headed foul.
You know, the thing against Hader is that you can be late on a fastball and still do damage. Don't have to try to pull that.
Four walks allowed in this game by Brewers pitchers. Full count here with runners at 1st and 3rd. Hedges pops it up. Back to 1st. Scope will make the catch for out number 1 of the 7th inning. He'll run it back into the infield. No chance for Renfroe to try it. Just a couple of strides on the outfield grass and really behind first base. One down. Brings up Freddie Galvis. Galvis has flied out to center, struck out swinging, flied out to right. 0 for 3 game for the Padres shortstop.
How about a safety squeeze here? Little bunt down the first base line. Free run. Free. Gratis.
You love that play.
I love it. Galvis handles the bat well, correct?
He does.
You've got the first baseman holding on the runner, correct?
He is. Pulls it back and takes ball 1. 96 from Hader.
Love the safety squeeze. In fact, that's the name of my new band. Love the safety squeeze. Just a nice little bunt down the first base line, and Hunter Renfroe scores.
There you go. Safety squeeze, and they're coming home, and he is out.
You know who was in a good position there was Aguilar at first base. Did he get him on the tag? Yeah, he got him on the chest. Yes, he did. Hey, good feet, good tag. I don't know about the jump, though, at third. Let's see what type of jump Hunter Renfroe got.
2 on, 2 down. Franmil Reyes coming up. He's already had a big game. A walk, home run, single. Five game. Padres trying to take a lead here in the top of the 7th inning.
Let's see about the jump at third base. Safety squeeze right when the ball is off the bat. There, got to go. All right. Yeah, he went. Doesn't have blazing speed.
Want to know the count. In there for strike 1-1. Two outs, 7th inning. Reyes waiting on a 1-1 pitch. Villanueva at second, Galvis at first. Outside for ball 2. Pitch in relief for Josh Hader coming up.
Line to left center field. That's in for a hit and a gapper from second base. Villanueva will score. Now Galvis trying to score all the way from first. He will. And the Padres take a 7-5 lead. Huge night for Franmil Reyes. He drives in a pair here, and the Padres take a 7-5 lead.
Talk about a huge night at the dish for Franmil Reyes. There's a breaking ball out of the hand of Hader. Speeds up his bat, he goes down and gets it. Everybody's off and running with 2 outs. That was a good battle right there by Franmil. You see the frustration on Hader's face as soon as that ball was struck. That's a good at-bat for Reyes.
Travis Jankowski going to pinch run for him. And take over in right field for him as well. Big night for Reyes, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, including his 8th home run of the year. And the Padres went from a 4-0 4-run deficit to now having a lead in this game of 7-5 here. Jose Perella has come out on deck. Spangenberg, 2 hits, both singles to center. Two-0 pitch to Spangenberg. Up and in. 3-0. Ball 4, and he walks him. So Spangenberg down to first base. First walk given up by Hader. Holy strikeouts for Hader, and he doesn't have one since coming into this game.
Padres getting that Shillelagh started a little earlier, right? Putting the ball in play. Reyes getting the breaking ball, going down and getting it, pulling it.
Jose Perella pinch hitting here for Matt Strong. Jankowski at second, Spangenberg at first. Good speed on the bases. Strike 1. They're missing. Barnes up in the pen. Fouled off to the right out of play. Jacob Barnes warming for the Brewers. Perella, the 7th member of the Padres, to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. It's tied 5-5 to begin the inning. Now a 7-5 San Diego lead. Perella grounds one to shortstop. Perez will go to second for the force out that will end the inning. But the damage has been done as the Padres scored twice in the inning. Franmil Reyes with a double to drive in 2. Scores Villanueva and Galvis. The Padres have a 7-5 lead. 7th inning stretch from Milwaukee. Got it started with a big first inning, a 2-run shot, put him on top 2-0. And Mike Moustakas for the 2-run home run of his own was 4-0. Padres come back to answer. Franmil Reyes with a home run. Manuel Margot with a home run. And Padres back within a run, and then Franmil Reyes with his gapper to left center field scores 2 runs. Villanueva and Galvis both score. And the Padres take a 7-5 lead at the bottom of the 7th inning. Lorenzo Cain to lead it off against the new Padres pitcher. Greg Stammen into the game.
Last pitched on Sunday against the Cubs, an inning in 2/3. A day off yesterday, enters his 50th game with a 2-run lead.
Grounded to deep short. Galvis pops up the throw. Going to be in time. Freddie Galvis with another spectacular play from shortstop.
Lorenzo Cain can't believe it. Hitting it to the wrong guy. Freddie with the slide and the accurate throw to first to get the speedy Cain. Everyday Freddie.
One down in the 7th inning brings up Christian Yelich. Toughest part of this order, really the top of it, although it's pretty deep. Yelich 0 for 3 in the game. Grounded out twice, and last time up struck out swinging. Nice work by Phil Maton and Matt Strom combined to get through the 6th inning for the Padres after Clayton Richard went the first 5, giving up the 5 runs the Brewers had. Maton and Strom a scoreless 6. Stammen starts the 7th, and a pop-up foul ground third base way. Villanueva will not have a play. Well back into the seats behind the Padres dugout. Two and 2. And that outside corner. Center fielder Manuel Margot over towards left center. The Padres have Jankowski now in left, Renfroe in right. That'll miss, full count. Jankowski came in to pinch run last inning for Franmil Reyes. So Travis now in left. Renfroe goes from left to right. One out in the 7th and a payoff pitch. That is ball 4 and a 1-out walk for Christian Yelich. 4th walk allowed by Padres pitching tonight. The first by Craig Stammen.
Kind of uncharacteristic for Craig in 55 innings going into this game. Only 10 free passes. Checking with the middle infielders who he's got on the comebacker with a possible double play turn. Infielder's going to be playing Aguilar on the pull side.
Now you got the tying run at the plate, and Jesus Aguilar. He's got a home run tonight, 27 on the year. Two and 0.
You see what Craig's trying to do here. Keep the ball down, keep it down and away. You know, he does got power to go the opposite field. That's why Hunter Renfroe in right field. He's playing on the deep side there. Although the outfield is swung over towards the pull side with Manuel Margot on the shortstop side of second base.
Check over on Yelich, back to the bag safely.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, down and away, if he puts the ball in play, he'll give him the single on the ground to that big hole on the right side. You just don't want to elevate anything to have him hit the chance of putting it out of the ballpark from foul pole to foul pole.
Takes the strike, 2-1. I mentioned he homered back in the first inning, a 2-run shot. 429 feet. It's 27th of the year for Aguilar. Waiting on a 2-1, but first to check on Yelich. Has to dive back, head first. Does so safely. Strike two, right at the bottom of the zone. 2-2. Aguilar didn't like it.
Yeah, that's paint. That's a legitimate strike from Craig Stammen. 93, right at the knees.
Jankowski on the move will get there to make the catch. Yelich had got quite a distance towards second base. He gets back to the bag at first with now 2 down. Well, it's time now for the Bill Howe play of the game. And Freddie Galvis, great play at shortstop to begin this inning.
He times that slide so perfectly and then has the ability to get up to one knee. See how quick that play developed and the accuracy with that arm. He's got the good arm. He knows when he needs to pump it up. He knows when he can take his time. He made it happen on that play.
2 down in the 7th. Christian Yelich at first base and Jonathan Scope the batter. Singled back in the 3rd inning. And he takes a look at strike one from Craig Stammen. Singled, got to second on a balk. He would score in the sac fly by Moustakas. At the time, gave the Milwaukee Brewers a 5-1 lead. Travis Shaw has come out on deck. He would bat in the pitcher's spot. Chopper down the 3rd baseline, foul. There's Travis Shaw on the bench tonight to begin the game.
Yeah, 209 against lefties. Clayton Richard lefty started tonight, towed the slab. So on the other end of the ledger, 258 average for Travis Shaw against righties.
Scope strikes out. Nicely done by Stammen. Picks up his first K and ends the 7th inning. To the 8th we go. Padres have a 7-5 lead. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. Back here in Milwaukee, 8th inning. Jacob Barnes. New pitcher now, the 4th arm used tonight by the Brewers. And well, Margot fouls the first one back to the screen.
Well, the right-hander Jacob Barnes, he's got a hot right arm, upper 90s, his 39th game. But 97, 98 on the fastball. Fastball slider combination from the right-hander.
Margot, a 2-hit night, 4 RBIs and a home run. And down 0-2, 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Well, Margot's home run was in the 5th inning, led off the 5th inning. 5th home run of the year, this hanging curveball he takes out of the yard.
And you know what they say, you hangy and they will bangy. That's exactly what happened. Right into the wheelhouse of Margot, and he's having one heck of a night at the plate.
Margot, Hosmer, and Renfroe expected here in the 8th. 4 RBIs for the 2nd time in his career. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out this time. First out of the 8th inning. So 1 down brings up Eric Hosmer. Scored in 5 consecutive innings tonight. 3rd through the 7th. Last time they've scored 5 or more consecutive innings. Same game, going to go back to April 15th against the Giants. 3rd through the 7th as well. Rid of a 4-run deficit, have a 7-5 lead as they bat in the top of the 8th inning. Green's team took the first game of the 4-game series against the Cubs and then won the last game of the series of the 4 games at Wrigley Field. Very much like take first game of this 3-game series from Miller Park. On the ground by the mound, scope to the backhand, can't make the play. Hosmer will reach.
That looked awkward. Scope going with the backhand. Kind of flat-footed out at second base. Then he is on the move. Probably, it's got to be an error, huh?
It is an error. Jacob Barnes didn't like it. Thought for sure he had a ground ball for out number 2 of the inning.
It's a play that has to be made.
This will get away. And Hosmer heads to second base. So now it's scoring position with 1 down in the inning.
Wants it down and away. I think that's a catchable ball. He was set up away. Just had to go to his right a little bit. Advantage for San Diego. Runner in scoring position. Frog in a tennis racket.
On that fastball, 1-1. On that play, they called it a wild pitch. I thought it could have been pass ball.
I'm right there with you. I would have judged that a pass ball as well.
Down low, and it's 2-1. Hosmer at second base, 1 down, top of the 8th inning. Throw ahead here, 2-1. Make it 2-2. That's where Barnes has been. 97, 98 with a fastball.
If he throws one of those sliders over the heart of the plate, speeds up the bat to Hunter Renfroe, that could spell trouble. Got to make sure that's down and away. Otherwise, I smell a 2-run shot.
In the air to left field. Struck pretty well. Yelich going back onto the track at the wall. That ball is gone. There's your 2-run home run for Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe gets his 10th home run of the year. And the Padres take a 9-5 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Third Padres home run of the night.
Slider, wanted it down away. Hanger. I smell a 2-run shot. Yep. It smells good.
The inning started with the error at second base. A wild pitch gets runner to second. It sets up the table for Renfroe. Hits a 2-run home run. And the Padres enjoying a 4-run advantage now with 1 down here in the 8th. And Ueba bats at 1-0 and takes a big cut foul. Tips 1-1. So 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for San Diego. 5 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Brewers. Broken bat flare. Scope's not going to get it. It falls into right center field. Ueba with a broken bat single. His 2nd hit of the night. 3rd time he's been on.
That's when you know things are going your way. Broken shillelagh, a little duck snort to shallow right center field, falls in there, and that's the look you like to see the opposing manager have. Craig Counsell very frustrated. Christian Villanueva will gladly take that big league knock. They're hard to come by.
And nobody up in the pen right now for the Brewers. Meanwhile, the Cubs have a 5-0 lead tonight over the Kansas City Royals. Game's in the 9th inning. The Brewers would lose ground here tonight. The Padres can hold on. There's a liner into center field. A base hit for Austin Hedges. Up to second goes Villanueva. 3 straight hits here for the Padres.
6 straight stanzas now the Padres have scored in this juego. And Austin Hedges, we talked about Austin Hedges in our game open. Well, he's been successful. Remember the home runs Wrigley Field down the left field line. Yeah, he's a little early. He can put it out of the ballpark, but using the big part of the field.
2 on, 1 away. 2 runs in. And Freddie Galvis coming up. Strike 1. Galvis looking for his first hit of the night. Padres have banged out 13, and Freddie tonight, while playing great defense, does not have a hit. 0 for 4. Oh and 2. 95 on the fastball from Barnes.
Padres have done a good job tonight against the hard throwers, haven't they? Hader,
they have.
Barnes.
Three home runs in the game tonight for the Padres. Bounces in, blocked by Pena painfully, and base runners do not advance. Barnes with a 1-2 pitch to Freddie Galvis. Swing and a miss. He get a piece. No, didn't. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Barnes. Freddie's 0 for 5 in the game. 2 down.
Well, he bounced one before. This one bounced a little closer, right behind home plate on the breaking ball. And once again, credit Pena for keeping that one in front of him.
Two down. Runners at first and second. Travis Jankowski batting for the first time. Pinch ran last inning. 256 with 2 home runs. Over in left field defensively, and takes ball 1 a little high. Ball and a strike.
Hey, Coolio, who do you have in pick the stick tonight?
Manuel Margot. Pretty good night.
You're having a pretty good night. Can you believe Fran Meal went undrafted?
Undrafted. Were there 14 points on the board? Is what I heard?
Yep. And Travis could add to it right here because he's in his slot.
The pitch ran for Fran Meal. Takes strike 2. That one looked a little low. 1-2.
A little low, but he gets the call.
Jankowski fights it off foul back to the backstop. Still 1-2. Two more runs for the Padres here in the 8th inning. And they have widened the gap on top by 4. Thanks to the 2-run home run by Hunter Renfroe. Error looms large. It kind of got it started. Second baseman Jonathan Scope charged with the error. Grounder off the bat of Hosmer. In Waybid second, Hedges at first. 2 down. 2-2. Fifth pitch is strike 3 to Jankowski. But a 2-run home run in the inning for the Padres and for Hunter Renfroe. His 10th home run of the year gives the Padres a 4-run lead on top 9-5 to the bottom of the 8th. bowls only at Jack in the Box for a limited time. And by SeaWorld. Base is tonight's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com. Click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. Robert Stock into the game. Travis Shaw pinch hitting here against Stock. 5th pitcher used by the Padres tonight.
Well, I think the Padre fans should be happy with what they've seen recently from Robert Stock. Now his 11th game with a slider is really something.
Travis Shaw sends it out to deep right center field at the wall. It's caught. Manuel Margot right in front of the fence makes the catch for out number 1 at the bottom of the 8th inning. So 1 out in the 8th.
That's a loud out for the Brewers here as Robert Stock records that first out. He's got the fastball that can touch 100. Has been much more aggressive with the slider. Last time out was against the Chicago Cubs. That was back on Friday. Went 2 innings.
Moustakis now drives one to center field. Margot back onto the track again. This one a little easier. 2 down. So far, just warning track power.
Yeah.
Shaw and Moustakis 2 down.
I think the marine layer is probably getting the Brewers here in the 8th.
Kind of lack the marine, though, don't you? The marine layer.
There's a lake here.
2 down in the 8th. Brings up Hernan Perez.
Perez has flied to left, grounded to short, and walked. Takes strike 1 from Robert Stock. Stock takes over for Stammen to win an inning. We have no hits, no runs, walked a batter and struck out a batter. Broken back grounder off the glove of the third baseman. Villanueva trickles into left. Wide turn at first for Perez, but he will get back to the bag at first with 2 down. Villanueva tried to cut it off in front of Freddie Galvis. Got a glove on it and just really slowed it down more than anything else.
Athletic position to his left off. Yeah, looks like Freddie had a beat on that as well. Freddie would have been in a much better fielding position if that ball got by Christian, but that's a natural reaction for the third sacker to try to make that play.
2 down. Perez at first and brings up Manny Pena. Brewers catcher. 1-for-3 in the game tonight. Pena reached on an infield hit. Second base in the 2nd inning. Otherwise, a strikeout and a flyout. Two and 0. Three and 0. Waiting on deck. Brewers batting here in their half of the 8th as Austin Hedges out to talk to Robert Stock, who is falling behind here 3-0.
I think part of the reason Austin goes out there is, hey, dude, you know, we got a 4-run lead. We got 2 outs. Let's trust your stuff. Let's go right after these guys. Pound that strike zone. In fact, you know what? I think it'd be pretty neat if Austin went out there and said, hey, let him hit one to the warning track. Let's get out of this inning.
There's a strike. Zips it in there at 98 miles an hour. Ball 4. 2 on here for Milwaukee with 2 down in the 8th. First walk allowed by Stock. Kirby Yates, closer, getting ready. Padres pen. Thames coming up here. Strike one.
Nice. Backdoor breaking ball slider for a strike on the outer third.
Strike two. 0-2. Back to the gas. Runners at first and second for Milwaukee. Perez at second, Pena at first, 2 down. And that's strike three. Thames strikes out to end the inning. Robert Stock able to get him and sends us to the 9th inning from Milwaukee. Robert Stock strikes out Eric Thames. Padres have a 9-5 lead. Series, and it's going to be fun to see the major league debut for Brett Kennedy. He's been 10-0 with a 2.72 earned run average. He'll be matched up against last year's opening day starter for the Padres, Jhoulys Chacin, 10-4 with a 3.89 ERA. Brett Kennedy tomorrow night. Those numbers coming to you from El Paso. Some highlights of Kennedy from El Paso, and that'll be fun. Always fun when somebody makes their major league debut. Looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it. There's not much more that he can do at the AAA level, so why not have him get called up to the big leagues and pitch here against the Brewers, who are in the race, so it'll be fun to watch. Dan Jennings enters his 54th game, 4-3 record. Not a strikeout pitcher in 52 1/3 innings of work, only 39 strikeouts, so some contact and balls put in play. And righty's hitting a 303 clip up to the plate, a left-hander. They're hitting 224. Corey Spangenberg.
Some defensive changes to tell you about as well for the Brewers. That one in there for a strike from Jennings. Well, it seems strange looking out there at second base right now to see Travis Shaw playing at second base, guy who's played first and third in his major league career. Now playing a little second base for the Brewers. Pretty big guy out there at second base. Got the scope going from second to short. Hernan Perez moved from short to right. Spangenberg leading it off. A.J. Ellis has come out on deck for the Padres. In the pitcher spot for Robert Stock. And then Manuel Margot. 2-2. There's A.J. Ellis. a start over the weekend in Chicago, Wrigley Field against the Cubs. That is strike 3. Spangenberg goes looking for the first out of the 9th inning. It's not been a great night for the Brewers' pen. 3 2/3, 8 hits and 5 runs. The Padres' pen, 3 innings, only 1 hit, no runs. And it's a combination for the Padres of Maton, Strom, Stammen, and Stock. All pretty good. All very good.
Done well, mentioned it a couple innings ago, done well against the hard throwers, these Padre hitters. And a big key, I think. Padres leading 9-5. It'd be nice to get 1 run to keep the Brewers out of slam range. Going into the 9th on the road, it's always a good idea to get that 5th run if you're up by 4.
Fouled off to the right out of play. 2-1. A.J. Ellis pinch hitting. Margot waits on deck. Padres trying to add on. Already on top 9-5. Three and 1. A.J. Ellis coming in with a .292 average. This Manuel Margot's had a 2-hit night, 4 RBIs, and a home run. His 5th home run of the year. Ellis pops it up foul, out of play. Aguilar giving chase, but it's well back behind the Brewers dugout. A lot of this crowd has departed. At one point tonight, we had 27,664 on hand. And that puts the Brewers over 2 million this year. But a lot of them have taken off after the Padres got 2 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. That is ball 4, and Ellis down to first base with 1 out. Nice plate appearance by A.J. Ellis. It's not been fun for Craig Counsell tonight.
No, when the opposing manager takes off the hat and runs the fingers through the hair, it's usually not a good sign. Pat Murphy in the background there, former manager for the Padres, his bench coach looking on. Actually, Counsell played for Murphy at Notre Dame.
1 out, 1 on.
Did you know that?
I did not know that. That's new information. It's great stuff. Pitch is going to miss.
I mean, how many times does a guy play for a guy in college, right? And then that guy, that player is now a manager, and his coach at college is now his bench coach.
Pretty rare. See if Dustin Pedroia becomes a manager. This one is lined to left. And that is going to be over the head in left field. Christian Yelich misplayed it. Here comes A.J. Ellis making his way around for first base. He'll score. And now it gets away. And here comes Margot Plateward. He will score. 2 more runs, and the Padres take an 11-5 lead. Yelich came in on that ball, ends up over his head. And the Padres end up with 2 more.
Got to be one of the worst feelings for an outfielder. Line drive right at you. He's coming in. Whoa! Okay, now he's got to go get it. Everybody's off and running. Green light for A.J. Ellis. He scores. He lumbers home. Throw gets away, and guess what? A Little League home run for Manuel Margot. He's having a good night tonight.
I think he's going to get credit for a triple and an RBI. Error on the throw back in.
And there's your 1 run plus another one to keep the Brewers out of slam range.
Hosmer batting now. The base is empty. In the first strike. And it's 2-1.
Are you not on the slam range concept?
No, I'm not buying it.
Really? You don't think it's important to keep the other?
I think if you had more grand slams that took place during the course of the season, it may come into play. But because it's such a rare thing down the left field line out of play, that really not a statistic that I think some people keep.
Interesting.
I know you do, the slam range. Hey, it's all about what's good for you. Works for you. 11-5. Padres have the lead. Brewers out of slam range.
They have 2 this year.
Right, and they played 115 games. That is strike 3 for Hosmer. 2 down. Let's watch Manny run the bases.
He thought it was going to be caught. He did not go hard out of the box. You know what? He almost lapped A.J. Ellis. Did you see that? As he, man, well, it was almost like halfway to second base, and in the background you can see A.J. Ellis like rounding third base almost halfway to home.
Renfroe, the golf swing there to pitch in the dirt. So the error on that play, it's a triple for Margot, ends up with an RBI. So that's 5 RBIs, new career high for him. And the error ended up on the shortstop. Scope. So a tough night. That's a second error. And 1 at second base, 1 at short. That allowed Margot to score. Gets through 1-2.
Yeah, tough night in the big leagues.
So 2 for 24 with his new team, and a couple of miscues tonight. He's not going well so far. He's going great for Manuel Margot. And for Timor Solo and Pick the Stick.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How many points for you tonight, Don?
I don't know. I can't count them. There's so many.
Well, you started off -1.
Yep. But then you got a single, you got a home run, you got a triple, you got 5 RBIs. Lots of points. On the ground, first base way. Aguilar will take it to the bag. Tags it for the out that will end the top of the 9th. Padres get 2 more, taking 11-5 lead to the bottom of the 9th. Big night tonight. Reyes started the scoring for the Padres with a 2-run home run. Franmil Reyes would add on. Gapper double left center field at plates 2. hit night tonight, including that home run that we showed you. 8 home runs on the year now for Reyes. All part of a 11-5 win lead right now for the Padres, trying to grab the win and making his major league debut. Trey Winginter into the game.
Homegrown Padre back in 2015 with the Arizona League Padres. And right now, toeing the slab in a big league ball game. There you see his numbers at AAA El Paso, 40 games. Really good splits. He's got a live arm. 53 strikeouts and 44 in the third innings pitched as a Chihuahua.
There is strike one to Lorenzo Cain, who leads it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. So lots of Trey during spring training.
6'7", 235.
Fly ball center field. Margot tracks it and makes the catch shy of the track for out number 1. Not a bad spot to get him into a game here.
Perfect. 6-run lead, pound the zone, go right after him.
One down in the 9th. Christian Yelich coming up.
And how about hopefully finishing this one out with a guy making his debut, and tomorrow toeing the slab to start a game for the Padres, a kid making his major league debut.
Yelich misplayed the ball last inning. Turned into a triple for Manuel Margot instead of an out. And 2 runs for the Padres.
Well, the adrenaline's got to be pumping. In a situation like this, almost you got to force yourself to slow it down to where you would actually get back to our original mechanics in your regular mode, your regular speed.
2-2, swing and a miss from Yelich. One down here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Yelich now. Aguilar waiting on deck for the Brewers. Swing and a miss. First strikeout in the big leagues for Trey Winginter is Christian Yelich. 2 down.
'98 top of the zone, and Austin Hedges throws that ball to the Padres dugout. That'll be given to the big right-hander after the game. Nicely done, Trey.
2 down in the 9th inning. Jesus Aguilar homered back in the first inning, a 2-run shot. Also has walked, so been aboard twice. 1 for 3 game for the first baseman. Bounces in, 1-1. Kirby Yates was up at one point in this game, but others kept adding on. 1-2. Two down in the 9th inning. Ball and 2 strikes to Aguilar. Very protective swing there, fouling it off to the right out of play. .40 relief appearances out of the El Paso bullpen this year. 3.45 ERA. Opponent's rating is just 186 against him at AAA. Ground ball right side. He's got a cover. Hosmer will flip to him, and Winginter is there. Nicely done. A 1-2-3 9th inning against Cain, Yelich, and Aguilar. And his family loves it as Winginter has made his major league debut. And the Padres with a victory in Game 1 of the series. 11-5, back-to-back wins for the first time since June 12th and 13th. Snaps a 45-game stretch without back-to-back wins for the Padres, but they win the final game of the series against the Cubs. They win the first game of the series here against the Brewers. Nice night tonight from Milwaukee. It's time for Padres Live. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?